What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbete TV Radio. Stay tuned.
Elegbete TV Radio. We dare to lead. Elegbete TV Radio. Ready for leading broadcasting. Listen.
Are you looking for where to get the most quality and affordable furniture in Nigeria? Then look no further because Chooks Interiors is your solution. From sofas to dining sets, tables, center rugs, you name it, we have got you covered. Check out any of our showrooms at Airport Road in Ikeja, Festac, or Alaba International Market. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Chooks_Interiors. That is at CHUKS_Interiors. Call or send us a WhatsApp message on 0808 017 1229. That's 0808 017 1229. And we would love to hear from you. We are Chooks Interiors and we offer quality for every budget.
You're listening to Elegbete TV and Radio.
Nope.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. My name is Idafi Matthews. Everyone love to come to Elegbete on the Sports. Plenty of excitement, plenty to talk about. Transfer juice. Sports showed that they are a shitty club yesterday. Man City showed that they are not interested in what the powers that be. 115 count charges, point deduction plans, refusal to stop them from breaking the silence. Ferguson treble. Pep Guardiola, the Spaniard, becoming the man with 4 Premier League titles. Where there's still one more game. There's still the West Ham game and the Everton game to go. It's not all done. No, it's done. It's done. Muted breath. It's done. Okay. But whatever it is, congratulations to Man City, to Aston Villa. Unai Emery does deserve this one. When he came to Arsenal, left. Maybe not the best way, but again, he signed some shitty players anyway. We must say it. Torreira, Mundozi, those players, Nicolas Ayas and Pepe, those players were shitty. I don't know if he was 100% involved in their signing, but he was at the end when those players were signed and they were not good enough. But his comeback, this is redemption for him. Sitting there with his players and watching Man City tear Tottenham Hotspurs apart in the second half. So let's face it. I'm not one of those who was expecting favor from Spurs. Spurs are not even good. Let's not even over expect from them. Spurs are not even good at this moment. But with the way they played in that second half and the way their fans behave, kind of like strange, So I'm a football fan. I'm not sure I'll go to a stadium and the opposition will score against my team and I'll be celebrating with them. It doesn't matter. I can, appreciate a beautiful goal like what happened with Real Madrid and Ronaldinho. Good goal, but celebrating, stand up if you love Haaland, stand up if you're happy that Arsenal is not going to win the title. Kind of like come strange. You know why? Possibly, like now in the slimmest of chance, the most impossible meltdown that happens, right? And it's captured now. It's on tape. Everybody have it, right? Then let's say hypothetically, City goes home to do a meltdown, draw, Arsenal beat Everton, Arsenal still wins the title. What will those fans say to their children, their grandchildren, going forward? That's something, to ponder about. But, football, politics, religion, and love makes you very, very irrational and unreasonable. So I can understand all of that. Anyway, but hey, it's the beauty that the games bring. I love the fact that the drama goes to the final day. Nobody's certain nobody losing a title to Real Madrid or losing a title to Man City feels like, oh, I've been robbed, or I've had a poor season. Especially if you look at the other 18 teams behind you and you go back to where you started from, you could say to yourself, you know what, we've given it our best push. We lost against the best team. It's like when Lewis Hamilton was in his best driving form for Mercedes, and no matter what any other person drives, Lewis Hamilton is going to be on the podium. Once in a while, you might just edge it over him, but overall, it was a roller coaster. So that's it for Man City. Man City have got like 6 titles in 7 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. If you add this one, man, this is incredible. There's a whole lot of talk of when he started, oh, money is the reason why. But now, right now, you sit where you are, you say to yourself, you know what? Pep Guardiola really did came and turn the Premier League into a farmers league. I was the Premier League, that thing that he did in Germany with Bayern, winning 3 straight titles. He can't do it in England. Well, not only doing it, he's overdoing it, right? All of the things they say, if he come to England, it's going to be tough, it's going to be difficult. Everybody is running after him. That tells you there's something about him that Pep Guardiola have that quite a lot of people don't have. Jose Mourinho, with all of his drama, didn't do it. Sir Alex Ferguson, with all of his match fixing, didn't do it. Arsene Wenger, with all of his attention to details, didn't even win back to back, right? So Pep Guardiola does have something to praise him for, to appreciate him. Like, this guy must have done something, and in the manner in which he's done it is the fact that it's not used the same team for that long. So he's rotated, played with a false 9, played with a striker, played with an alternate striker. Every time he's rotated the team, played with a back 4, played with the back 3, played with an inverted wing back, played with 4 midfielders, 3 midfielders, diamond, triangular, everything. Play with white players, running white players, play with inverted white players, and in all, is won. And let's not forget that last season he won the treble. Could end up this season with the double. 5 trophies, 5 major trophies, or probably 6 or 7. You put the European Super Cup and the World Cup or World Club Championship. In 2 seasons, incredible performance. But I'm asking you guys, between Sean Dyche, who I think have done a great job, I wouldn't lie, Sean Dyche, Unai Emery, and Pep Guardiola, if he wins the double, who deserves, I'm not asking who will win it, but who deserves to be the manager of the season because of all of this that have gone on? And Ange Postecoglou came out and was blasting the Spurs fans and said there's something wrong with the foundation of the club. Unfortunately, he's just finding out what we already know since like forever, that club have a foundational problem, and that problem is what will keep them always. I mean, come on, I wasn't expecting them to beat Man City. Let's be very, very fair. But I think that they did enough, and Man City really wasn't blowing hot. They could have gotten something out of that game, a draw probably, but they just were Spurs. Spurs will always be Spurs, and that was it. But from your own end, how did you see the game? And then let's not forget that it's going to be games today. There is the Brighton versus Chelsea game. Chelsea wins that one, obviously. It's looking like as terrible as Chelsea's form this season, they are still going to go to Europe. Again, I asked the question, is this what being competitive means? And I'm thinking Manchester United is hanging on the belief that, we'll win the FA Cup and we'll play. Don't count on it, especially when you have Man City to face. Don't count on it. So it's looking now like Chelsea, one way or the other. Brighton is a difficult team. I'm not going to give them the point here, but Chelsea, one way or the other, after having such a horrible, crazy season, are still going to end the season above Manchester United. And I know that all of the people that are clamoring for it and to be fired after that overlap interview with Gary Neville, everybody's beginning to pull back, and the excuses is that they've had truckload of injuries. I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, Manchester United have not had injuries, but Newcastle might come there and beat them today. Okay, Newcastle might come to Old Trafford. I pray it doesn't rain, so that major fashion doesn't happen. In Manchester when it rains, it pours. Newcastle might beat them. Chelsea might also beat Brighton, and that just seals it up. Because if that happens, let's look at the standing. Manchester United and Chelsea are 7th and 8th. Chelsea are in 7th. Manchester United are in 8th position. A win for a win for Chelsea in this game means that they will finish above, confirm that they will finish above Manchester United, no matter what Manchester United does. Chelsea, as bad as the season have been, they've got a plus 12 goal difference, and somehow, Manchester United have got a -4. I don't know when. I mean, since the Premier League started, I can't remember when they've ever got into this blue. Some forget that from '92 to 2013. The worst Manchester United have gotten was third position, maybe once or twice. The others were first and second, and then all of a sudden, this is where they are now. It's crazy. And the thing that, to be very fair and honest, their goalkeeper is not a bad goalkeeper. Onana in any other team would be world class because he's also made a lot of saves. I dare to say that he's made more saves than David Raya and Anderson and Alisson all put together this season. I might be wrong. Maybe Martinez, you could say Martinez is the one that made more saves than him. But look at where all of that save have kept them. West Ham that have even fired their coach, they're just 2 points behind Manchester United. And it could go either ways. It could even go to the point where West Ham finishes above Man United. That means Man United loses to Newcastle today, and then loses on the last day, and West Ham by the whiff of a miracle goes on to beat Man City. Well, that's not going to happen anyway. Let's not even have that conversation. It's not going to happen. Well, it is what it is. We've seen how it is. So, how was the game at your end where you were watching in France? There's a talk of a quarrel and shouting between Paris Saint-Germain's chairman, president, Nasser Al-Khalifa, and Kylian Mbappé. And then the reason, according to the story, the reason for the shouting was that why would Kylian Mbappé announce that he's leaving at the end of the season before the match, the previous match that they played? They played against Nice tonight. Now, my question in this, my constellation in all of this is, wait a minute. Was he supposed to wait? What exactly is he waiting for? Like, what is he trying to wait for to the end of the season? It's an open secret. Everybody knows that the young man is leaving. There's nothing you are doing that's changing that. So why get angry? They just want to look for something to get angry about, and then so that when they start throwing all those dirty stories out, because I think it's going to happen. The Arabs, if you know the Arabs very well, they play nice, but they also play very dirty. Marcel, with Aubameyang in it, would be playing away to Reims tonight. That you remember that thing I said at the beginning of the season. Everywhere Aubameyang goes, you're not playing in the Champions League. Barcelona was an exception. It's too big a club for his genes to take them down. This team was in the Champions League last season, if I'm not mistaken, or this season. They are now in 8th position. There's nothing that is taking them to the Champions League next season. So, Aubameyang, how you doing? Once again, the so-called big player. Kylian Mbappé is the winning the top goal scorer in France is forever. I mean, every other player will be happy to see him leave. 27 goals, 7 assists. Then you have Lacazette, who is third. You have David, the Lille player, with 19 goals and 4 assists. Lacazette with 17 goals and 2 assists. Aubameyang, 16 goals and 8 assists. Terry Murphy, who was out for a very long time for Nice, injured and then went to the AFCON. I've got 11 goals and 2 assists as well. Adams from Montpellier, Nigeria, you know why that's why I'm mentioning him. I've got 8 goals and 1 assist. Quite a lot of African players, Ivorians, Senegalese, African players in the French league. Well. Let's look at the transfer gist. I don't have all day today. I'm going to school, so I'm not going to spend the whole night, the whole 60 minutes on the show today. Bayern Munich are looking at a move for Manchester United 29-year-old Portuguese midfielder Bruno Fernandes this summer. I don't know. I mean, does Bayern Munich need him? You've got 2 players from England and you went on not winning anything. You want to bring in this guy that have so much drama. He's got passion, but Bayern is not that kind of a team where somebody comes, unless you're missing Stephen Effenberg and then you need a player that will come and give you the Stephen Effenberg vibes. These are one of the players who are not injured, but will not want to play for the manager. I hope we don't have that problem in Bayern anyway. Several leading Bayern Munich players, including England striker Harry Kane, 30, want manager Thomas Tuchel to perform a U-turn on his decision to leave at the end of the season. Well, it's not about the players. alone, but it's about the 7 members of the board. Manchester United are prepared to offer £55 million for Everton's 21-year-old English defender Jared Babatunde Braithwaite, as well as Manchester United. They would also be willing to listen to offers for 28-year-old English defender Aaron from Anambra Nwa Mbisaka. Yeah, Netherlands defender Jeremy Frimpong, yeah, for Bayer Leverkusen, who's 23 years of age, is leaning towards Bayer Leverkusen in the summer. Yeah, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Arsenal, and Manchester United are keen to take advantage of a £35 million release clause in his contract, but it seems like he wants to continue with his wonderful manager, Xabi Alonso. Well, Arsenal and Manchester City have made contact with Newcastle United's Brazilian midfielder Bruno Guimaraes, 26, over a summer move, but the price tag on him does look like something that Man City can easily pay. I'm not sure about Arsenal anyway, but Arsenal needs some reinforcement to make sure next season is not another near miss. Chelsea will accept an offer in the region of 35 million for the 21-year-old Belgian striker Romelu Lukaku, one of the players who they spend money that they didn't need to spend on. Brentford manager Thomas Frank is a strong candidate for the Manchester United job should they sack Erik ten Hag. Well, I'm keeping my fingers crossed now. I mean, I'm still of the opinion that he will be sacked, but I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Manchester United have contacted Ipswich manager Kieran McKenna, who has worked as a coach at Old Trafford before. Is that the coach that you guys want to have now? Okay. No opinion. Napoli have offered former Chelsea and Tottenham manager Antonio Conte $5.6 million a year to become their next coach, but AC Milan have cooled their interest in the manager. So maybe it will go. AC Milan want Tottenham 25-year-old Brazilian defender Emerson Royal. Well, will he go? That man is full of error. Prone to error, AC Milan. You know that in Italy, it's more about defending than attacking. Manchester United are aiming to beat Newcastle United to sign a Fulham's 26-year-old English defender Tosin Aderabioyo, as he's going to be living on a free. Liverpool have been offered the chance to sign Nice and France midfielder Kefran Turam, 23, for £13 million. Is that what slot Braja wants to use? Well, we'll see what happens in that midfield. I think that the Liverpool midfield is stable, but hey, new manager's coming. He's going to do something. Talking about Slot, Feyenoord boss, and his Slot is planning to make assistant manager Sipke Horshoff the first appointment to his backroom staff at Liverpool when he succeeds Jurgen Klopp. Wolves are expected to offer manager Gary O'Neill, yeah, he does need to stay, a new 3-year contract. He's done well in my own opinion. I don't know about you guys, but you can share your thoughts on that one. But I think he's done very, very well. Juventus wants to part ways with manager Massimiliano Allegri at the end of the season, according to Rudy Galetti all the way from Italy. Finally, in the transfer gist, according to the BBC, it said Aston Villa are keen to sign 21-year-old Spanish midfielder Gabri Vega from Al Ahly after he indicated he wants to return to Europe in the summer. And a good way to come back is to talk to someone who he knows very well, Unai Good Evening Emery, to bring him back. So, and one of my leading candidate for manager of the year. I don't know if you think the same way, but hey, what is your own feedback from yesterday? I mean, I wasn't watching because it wasn't, one of those things that I want to watch. Not because Arsenal is involved, but I just don't see where Spurs were going to work their magic. And then the way the talk has been all week, Spurs this, Spurs that, in the papers. I'm like, oh, come on, let's keep this nonsense. Let's get past this one and move on. Jose Mourinho is wanted by Saudi Arabia side Al Qadassia, whatever, Kim Kardashian, with the Aramco-owned club hoping to lure the special one to the Middle East. Jose Mourinho, you want to go there? I don't know. There's so much money. I don't know. Furious Arsenal fan Piers Morgan brands Tottenham players pathetic, bunch of losers and useless muppets as Ghana supporters rage at fierce rivals for failing to take points off Man City. I think that it is foolishness for any Arsenal fan to be angry with Spurs for not taking point off City. Aston Villa is your anger. If Arsenal had beaten Aston Villa, this conversation we will not be having it. Even if they don't beat them, if they had at least ended that game in a draw, Okay, that ended that game in a draw. We won't be having this conversation. We'll still be very close. The conversation will be different. So, I mean, if they had ended the game in a draw, Arsenal and what's it called? Arsenal, maybe they'll be 1 point behind, but it will be better. But they should have won that game against Aston Villa at the Emirates. They didn't do that. Again, you could go back to last year when they played against Fulham and West Ham back to back, and the way they played, very insipid and lackadaisical, was probably the reason why they are not champions today. Again, so Pes Morgan, I agree that you're angry. I'm not gutted. I'm not angry at Tottenham Hotspur. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I don't think I have the right. It's the audacity, it's the temerity of an Arsenal fan hoping that Tottenham Hotspur will really do them a favor, even if there was no favor to be done. It's Spurs in the form where they could stop Man City. Let's be very honest here. I know that some people say it's match fixing. Some people say they just gave up themselves in the second half. Kane could have scored that goal. Kulusevski could have done this, could have done that. Hey, I don't look at football like that. That's why probably I always disagree with a lot of people when it comes to football. I look at football from an objective viewpoint. This Man City currently, the kind of form that they are in, the way they played, they've also been very patient, unlike before where you see them rush into, try to attack people. They try to be a lot more matured, more patient. They lost to Madrid, and since that time they cooled their head. They didn't let it get to them. So, okay, yeah, we've lost this one. We won trouble last season. We wanted to repeat it, but hey, we can't repeat it. What we can do is to make sure the next games in front of us, we win them. And they've been taking it one game at a time. I don't think that there is anything in that game that I look back and I say, oh, Spurs were not moving the way they were moving. Because again, as an analyst, this is what I did. Okay, let me tell you how I looked at the game, and as I was analyzing it, after the game, and then even look at the selection. First off, the coach put a selection, a team that he think was good enough. Yes, Vicario was in goal. Van der Ven on his normal day didn't live up to expectation, but has he been living up to expectation since? No. Okay, you have Dragusin, who blocked a shot that was going to goal from Bernardo Silva also. Romero was there. Pedro Porro, who cost the penalty. All this back four, they did what we've seen them do in the last 5, 6, or 7 games. Okay, Sarr, Højbjerg, and Bentancur in midfield, and then up front you have Madison, Son, and Brennan Johnson. Let's be very, very honest here. Brennan Johnson, Son, you mean Madison? I don't think they put any foot wrong where they should have put it right. Apart from the chance, I don't think Son. I wouldn't even say Son missed it. The goalkeeper saved it. So when you look at that team against this Man City team that have Haaland, who scored the double, was on a double, the 2 goals, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, who was also very disciplined. There was no unnecessary showboating, unnecessary trying to do unnecessary things. It was just concise. Rodri and Kovacic was, keep it tight at the back. For as long as we don't concede, we have a chance of scoring. And when we score, we just might win. Kawaka was bumping forward when he needed to, but also was very commanding and defending. Akanji maybe not really up to par in the performance that he put up last night, but then you have Ruben Dias, also was very commanding. Gavadio, whatever his name was, also was very commanding and was good. Edison was good until he went out, and then Stefan Ortega came in and did the damaging job. I don't see anywhere as a person I can even, in good faith and good conscience, blame Spurs. If you want to blame anybody, blame Arsenal for not beating Aston Villa at the Emirates. That's where the title was lost. Every other thing that we've been doing was pressing calculator like Nigeria back in the day, where we mix things up and then we start looking for miracles where there are no miracles. But whatever it is, that's my opinion. I don't know what your opinion is. We've got 6 more minutes on the show before we leave. I think it's your time. So Reginald is here again with a question that is. Reginald says, Idafi, if you are given 100 million naira right now, how would you invest it? That's just one question. Nobody gives anybody 100 million. Reginald. I know that is hypothetical, but nobody gives. Reginald is typing. Nobody gives anybody 100 million. Let's be very, very honest. Nobody, unless you are investing kidney for people, organ for people, or you are helping people to snatch ballot boxes and you are delivering a full state, or probably you are, a group between kidnappers and the money, maybe. But I'm not in any of those categories. I'm not also setting my backside for people to ram in, if you know what I mean. Okay, if you don't get it, forget about it. Okay, nobody gives anybody 100 million. Okay, so Regina said, I know nobody gives anybody 100 million, but just an investment. I'm looking at it from an investment perspective. If you have 100 million, you see, this thing reminds me of when I was growing up in Warri, where we would just say at once, I'm robber, good thief. As they carry the money, they run, police, they pursue them. They just throw the money for a copper. I don't do this type of money hypothesis. I know, but to humor you, I mean, you've added value to my show. I wouldn't lie. So to humor you, give me 100 million. Okay, he's typing. Regina is typing. I don't know if it's a he or she. So Regina, let's just say when Regina is typing. Okay, Regina said, let me give you options. Would you go buy a car? Would you go buy your dream car or dream cars in bracket? Would you buy a house? Would you go on vacation? Would you travel to go buy a house abroad? How much be the money? 100 million. I didn't know reach out this way you talk now. You don't know my dream car. 100 million if you don't reach my dream car. Calm down. Okay, so let me break it down. Today, 100 million is in my account. Okay, it's my money, right? I earned it. Don't say they give me, just say I earned it. Let's say my YouTube channel explodes to the point where I make let's say I make like $200,000. I need my crew, I also have to make them very, very comfortable, because it is sick if you're only successful and then the rest of your crew are still. No, I don't want that to happen. You see, when I was watching the Mark Twain Award for Kevin Hart, the part that I enjoyed the most, you can go to Netflix and watch it, was when the Red Cup boys came out. That's his crew, those 7 guys. They're 11 anyway, but those 7 guys are the main guys. They've been with him since forever. For the past 15, 16, 20 or so years. They grew up together. Some are older than him, so they're not like his boys, but they're his men, they're his crew. Remember that time when he bought them their dream car? You asked them that, they were having this conversation and they said they should play a game, write on the piece of paper and put it in a box what your dream car is. And they all everybody wrote their dream cars. And then he also, asked them where they would like to have their houses. And then, behind the scene, he collected them and he bought them all the cars that he wrote and then bought them houses. Listen, that's one of my greatest inspiration. But if you put 100 million, if I have 100 million right now, I won't go and buy a house. Okay, so I'm not really big on just putting your money in a house, because if I buy the house, I'll be living in it. It's not giving me return. I don't really like that thing. Okay, I'm not saying I will not have the house, but guys, try and understand. I think as I am, I'm 45 years old. I have a network of people. I know people. I've seen things. I sit in rooms. I get into rooms. I get into spaces where I know, okay, this is what happened. I understand investment now way more than I used to when I was playing football or back in the day, right? So what I'll do with 100 million first off is, I've always wanted to invest in agriculture, and I think that the one that would last for a while, okay, it's not forever, but for a while. I mean, you could put that investment and it will last for another 10. Palm tree is 100 years, right? The lifespan of a palm tree is 100 years, but we say 10, 20 years, right? I'll go and invest in that palm tree business that is like really doing well right now. That export of charcoal that I wanted to do, the reason why I will not do it is that the stress to load it, put it in the caravan, take it to the seaport, the whole demurrage, the whole truck drivers, wasting your time, eating your money. I can't do that. I can't deal with it. I've done that before and I lost 2 diesel truck. I'm not sure I want to be able to go back to that again. I still get PTSD from the fact that 2 people died of that fire incident. So I'm not even trying to go there. But what I would do is 100 million, I'll put 25 million in the real estate pool investment, where you put your money with other people, they build, they sell, you lock down the percentage of whatever will be paid. So if let's say I put 25 million and they say you will get 30%, okay? So it comes with my money after 1 year, whether they sell or they don't sell, but I get my money back. That's an investment that I put my money. Palm tree, I'll put a whole lot of money there. I could put about 30 to 40 million on it, and then I just put the other money in the bank, not bank as in savings account. I just put it in the fixed deposit, and leave it there like fair money or something. Just leave it there, lock it on 13, 15%, 17%. I could negotiate as high as 23%. I just leave it there and still go back. You know, one of the things that I want to achieve in life is to have money and look poor. Oh God, there's nothing as beautiful as that. To have money and look poor. I don't like this whole idea of people in Nigeria having money and using siren, using police, bodyguard to stress and harass people. I always feel like it is madness. So that's what I would do with my money. See, Regina, just sit typing. Just calm down when you're typing. There are other people's messages I need to read. 30 minutes is already up. Tosilima, this is good morning. Good PPL, Sport, the party for Arsenal. Game week 38 to decide the title as Man U could not help their neighbor, so Sports 2 could not help their neighbor. Tosilima, this is would there be final game week drama as for the EPL title? European contenders too are not left out of the drama. I mean, the top four is already concluded. Nobody's going out again. Nobody's coming in. No Labiadi Bain say we not say Sports no fit do Arsenal favor. They just came say make be like say them do walk over. Michael, Letter, how have you been? What's up? It's been a while. Say good morning, boss. Arsenal needed to get the job done, but they failed against Villa. They are suffering same fate Klopp and Liverpool suffered for years at the hands of Guardiola. Don't blame Spurs. There's no need. Here we go. Kingsley say whatever happened, Arsenal is making steady progress. Arteta has done so much that I agree with you 100%, and it's what I've been saying. And I wonder when people banter Arsenal for not winning the title and they say they bottled it. I'm asking, like, is it easy to knock? Why did Liverpool not knock them out? Is it easy to knock this Pep Guardiola and his team out of winning the title? Come on, look at the quality of players that they've got and the kind of outstanding players, individual brilliance that they've got. That's not an excuse, but I don't see any reason why Arsenal should be bantered. I mean, in all of this, the only title that Liverpool won was the COVID one. And if you look carefully, I'm not going to come here and make so much talk, but that season was match fixing season, please. Season I went on break, came back, the whole match fixing in that season, only God can tell. 69 football say Ortega saved the night for City. Maybe Ederson may not have made those saves. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Henry Morris said, bro, so why are you surprised at Spurs fans? The foundation is destroyed now. Yeah, I know. I mean, I lived there, so I know, but I just don't think that sometimes you shouldn't act it out, right? Let me give you a good example. There are people that I don't like. There are people that I don't wish well. But imagine they die and I'm throwing a party. Just imagine, like, oh, this person that's done this to me, in our dies. You will not hear me go and write RIP on social media or condolence or those. I won't sign your condolence register. I won't. But I won't say good riddance to bad rubbish. Show it's time to party. Oh, turn up the music. This person. No, I won't. I just be calm. It's the maturity that it defines you, not them. Everybody already know that those people, they are not your friends or your enemies or whatever. But your actions, certain actions you take defines you. I'm sure that Ange Postecoglou is shocked. Like, really? There are people like this? Because sometimes you have to leave it to understand it. That's what my mom used to say. You have to leave it to understand it. I don't know how my mom got all those parables because if you wish to speak parable, my mom, like, she's brilliant. If you wish to help you do homework, you die there. She will slap if you tell her anything about homework. You are die. Collins Arnold Chua says, how did you sleep brotherly? I slept well. Why? I slept well. I'm happy with the progress of my club. Football club is not a one season thing. It's 100 years plus of history. And where we're coming from, I was sleeping when we were ending the season in 8th position, in 7th, in 6th. Now we are guaranteed Champions League for next season. Players will not hesitate to come. Have you forgotten when the best players we used to sign were Nicolas Ayas and Ogo Pepe? Well, the best players we used to sign were Guendouzi, Lucas Torreira, because we didn't have Champions League to offer. So when we go to people like Vlahovic, they say, I like the club, but I can't play in a club that doesn't have Champions League. I can't go from Fiorentina to go to Arsenal without Champions League. Now we don't have, like, Declan Rice chose Arsenal over Man City. You understand? So sleep well. Well, come on. Even when we lost the Champions League finals, I slept well. Not to this one. I don't say anything bad. I think that I always say, like, the measurement is oh, before the season, this is the bar. Even before the season started, I didn't put Arsenal ahead of Liverpool. I still put Liverpool. I thought, like, okay, my prediction that Man City was not going to win the league was based on Liverpool going to win it. And Liverpool didn't do well. Not a big deal. I didn't put Arsenal ahead of Liverpool. I also said at the beginning, if you remember, I said Arsenal will be that third or fourth because I was thinking Manchester United will come around and do some special magic, voodoo, and just gel together and go on. I mean, they've got Casemiro, they've got Bruno Fernandes, they've got Amrabat, and you know the kind of form that what's it called? Rashford was showing last season. I thought it would bring it forward into the season. There's Garnacho. Maybe it would just ignite something in Anthony and the two Anthony and Anthony Martial. And maybe they would give us a run for it. Okay, they've had injuries, so we can show understanding in that area. But hey, didn't expect them to be this bad. Also, when Chelsea was spending money the way they were spending money, I thought, okay, well, they were young players anyway, but I thought that some players would really come good. Casado, Enzo, Mikhailo Modric, you know, Gallagher, they would hold it together and do way better than they've done this season. But they are ending the season in flourish. They qualify for Europe. I think you would have looked back and say the season is bad, but it's not that bad. For Man United, if they don't win the FA Cup finals, horrible season. And that's my opinion. Anyway, Kanepi, he said Shandike should be manager of the season. Keeping Everton in the league despite their point deduction is commendable. I agree with you, Kanepi, 100%. I think that Shandike should be given the manager of the season. But you know, it is rare. It is rare for that to happen. It is very, very rare. But I would personally give it to him because I think that he's done incredible well. You know, to get points deducted and then you go and you motivate your players to play. Because they're kind of like asking themselves, what are we really playing for? Don't forget that the reason points are deducted have got nothing to do with the players. You understand? This is financial reason. It's not like, oh, we did match fixing or the players did one thing and then you're deducting points. And these players now have to carry the kind of one for the problem that, and it's not like really they did anything wrong. It's just catching up like, okay, your books are not balancing. And it's over a couple of seasons. It can happen. The rules, what I hate with the rules is not taking into consideration global economic circumstances. The war in Ukraine that started February 2022, the whole crisis that everybody's going through. This rule that English football just brought in is useless fast. And well, let me not even bother myself talking about it. Right? Demola Abeli Ibrahim said that Shandike should be the manager of the season with 5 points deducted from his team. He tried. And he went to say Pep turned the league to Farmers League. He took him last season, say he sabi win the league and he's done it again. Ibrahim Abiola said, indeed, sports show how shitty they are, and even Postecoglou is already biting his fingers already. NHA Adiza says, good morning, brother Celebrate. I love your show and I'm quite addicted. I would like to hear your opinion on Adagula, the Turkish boy. Remember a couple of seasons ago I said that Arsenal should go and steal him. Like Arsenal should go and, the word I used was Arsenal should go and kidnap the boy. So I watched a clip, my friend Arsenal Gamers sent me a clip of the boy and said, watch out for this guy. This guy is the future. I was like, you know, I get clips like that. He said, watch out for him. Just remember the name. And I watched him and I was like, whoa. It's, you know, footballers, the way I judge footballers is their first touch, how they wiggle themselves away from danger, like like when you're marking them and the marking is coming, aggressive marking is coming, and they just know how to twist and turn and wiggle themselves away. He's got that, and then the eye for pass. Yeah, he doesn't have the Toni Kroos or Luka Modric passing yet, but he could be in that level if he continues and he stays out of injuries and lifestyle, you know, all of those things. But Kula is a good player. Very good player. Fantastic lad, man. Fantastic player. Okay, Jerry Sampson say, boss, how did you meet beautiful and lovely wife? What advice can you give? Say, I've always said it that nobody should take marriage advice from anybody. Yeah. How I met my wife, it's this estate. So I was living on the road there. I was living on road 3. 03, no. I was living on Paulinus Wako Street. And every once in a while, I've always liked to live alone. But even the last 6 years before moving to this place, I've lived with people, and it's the worst time of my life. I've always liked to live alone. Like, if I'm looking for a house, I like isolated place where you live alone, no neighbors, because I don't like noise. Okay, and I don't like noise. I don't like people smoking around me. There's so many things that just puts me off with people. I don't like party, so I don't like people. Come and park your car. I want to do kiki birthday. I want to do. I don't like it. So I was living alone in my compound, and sometimes I just come outside to stroll on the street. So I got this eating thing that I do, like back in the day when my leg was treated. Dr. Jerry said something that sometimes I should feel the electrolyte of the earth. So every once in a while, I should walk barefoot on the street, like on the earth, right? Not on concrete, not on slabs, but on the earth, on sand. And so on this day, I was doing my earthing, like just walking, like walking, I go straight to the end, I come back. There was iPod at the time. I had this iPod in my hand, connected to the earpiece in my ear. I was walking. So this lady, my sister, Evelyn, was in my house. She just finished her service. She came to my house, and she said that she have a friend in Lagos that's coming to visit her. No problem. And so she came, and my sister wasn't feeling fine. So she came in and walked. I've not seen her before. Walked in, and then I walked back, and we're just talking. And I asked her, "Would you marry me if I ask you to marry me?" She looked at me like, so this was what she said. She said, my wife could be very, very blunt. She could be shy, but she could be very, very blunt. And she said, "I'm an adult, you're an adult. If you want sex, you should say it. This is not the right way." Don't say I work. This is not the right way to talk to a lady. It smacks of irresponsibility. And I said, in my usual spontaneous, stupid, crazy way. And I said, well, even if you're offering the sex, I'm not going to have it, because I'm not sure I want to have sex with a woman I want to marry before we get married. Okay, so I'm not asking for sex. If I want sex, it's the easiest thing to do. So I start showing off. I was like, because you don't know me, you can talk like this. Sex is something people offer to me for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What purpose to a woman saying this kind of thing? Well, it's sex organized. I'm always an idiot. All right, and I said, listen, it's not a big deal. You can say no, you can say yes. But one thing I'll tell you is that if you say yes, you would have fun for the rest of your life. As in, we'll go on a journey that you would have fun for the rest of your life. You would have fun, because I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. This is my CV. I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. I'm always going to be around when you need me. I'm always also going to travel when I need to travel. But you know the thing, I'm going to join you in raising the kids, and I'm not one person that will be a boring and a difficult father. I was already pitching to her, she was laughing. So we're walking on the road there from the junction, because I went to go pick her from the junction, and I was looking around, and then I saw this copper wire on the floor, and I just pick it, that like loose cable wire, like very small one. I just pick it, and I removed the wrapping, the rubber wrapping with my thing, and then I took like a piece of a broken glass, and then I wrapped it on it, and I gave it to her. I said, "This is my engagement ring, take it." She laughed. Then, we got home, and I handed that to my sister. I went outside, I was walking, and I think she told my sister, but my sister was like, "No mind that idiot." I said, "This one, my big brother, he call me big brother." I said, "This my big brother, that's how I behave." Well, long story short, we're married now, 14 years after. We have 3 kids, 3 lovely kids. One just turned 12. One is going to be 10 in a few days, upper Sunday, and then the other one is going to be 5 in July. So, but I do not believe in marriage advice or counseling and all those nonsense that people do, because everything that works in one marriage will fail in another marriage. Okay, it's just that. It's just that. I have a friend, for instance, who, like, you know what? Should I say that now? No, she'll watch this show later. It's not good. Right? So everything that works in one marriage will not work in the other marriage. Find people that fits you. And sometimes people say, "Oh, you have to date people to know that." Well, I dated somebody for 3 years, proposed, went to Dubai, bought an engagement ring for 75,000 naira at the time. the marriage, we didn't even them after we've done introduction, we fix wedding. I attended our wedding recently. Okay, so sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, the ones that you don't even think work. For me, know yourself. You know, there's a sympathetic Bible says, "A man know thyself." Know yourself and know what works for you. So for me, things have always worked for me when I don't plan them too much. When I don't think things too much, I just act spontaneously. They've always worked well. But you see this thing called planning. Some people, you will see them, they have board in their house, they have a planner, they have daily planner. I dated one girl one time, she had daily planner, what she would do today, from when she wakes up, how she will brush her teeth, where she will stand. Like, I don't have this strength. She'll spend like 2 hours in the evening writing out tomorrow's plan. It's like, you're playing God. You're not enjoying life. You're in prison, because why should my life have a schedule or routine? No. And so even when I say when I was in Brilla, there's this thing they say you must follow script. You must write out your intro. You must do everything. Let me break the law. Like every single day, if there's anything where they say law breaking, but I make up for being on time. I never went to work late. I never had issues. I never, I never got query for 13 years. But see that thing, say follow script. Me, I'm off with Jemba. No, we're not the follow script. And I will be the script, because I always felt like I want to be happy when I'm doing my show. I don't want to be constricted or restricted, because somewhere in the middle of the show, some things will happen. Like we didn't plan for Reginald does not become part of the show. So if I have a script, it might just kill the show. And we didn't plan for this kind of question. It's coming. So most times, I've believed that my life is based on spontaneity. That's why maybe I love comedy a lot. And it works for me. For people who, if there's any advice I would give a young man who's trying to get married, please have a means of livelihood, especially now that things are, have a means of livelihood. Again, prove to be the guy who is going somewhere, because women like to go somewhere with somebody. Somewhere, by somewhere in I don't mean traveling, no. I mean somewhere in life. Like, this is here where you are now. That's the only time you need a plan. This is where you are right now. Show to a woman where you are going, your dream, like how you're going to get there and why you're going there, what you want. Because those are some of the things from the beginning when I met my wife. I said, if you have a plan to relocate abroad, if that's the kind of man you're looking for, and not say yes to me, because it's never going to happen. We will travel, yes, but we will not relocate. It's not going to happen. And she said she doesn't also want to, that she doesn't want that one. That she not give me her own condition. If we marry, even if we don't born or I get belle, you can't say God call you. Before she even talk about that, I say, shut up, God not going to come. You know how many times they tell you for some God say God not coming. She said, if you just tell me, say God call you. First of all, filing for divorce. We will divorce quietly. We're not going to need to do drama or quarrel. I cannot be pastor wife. I don't have that body for that nonsense. And I say, listen, gay, if that's the only hustle that is available in the whole world, I'm not gonna be pastor. We agreed on it. So you have to agree on some certain things. We also agreed on things like having a house help, whether we need or we don't need. The two of us cannot be working. One have to go to business, for one to work. Things that we'll do and all that. The only thing we didn't have planned is this work that I'm doing now. That I'm not doing. This one we know it wasn't in the plan. This wasn't in the plan at all. I got fired and this became the only plan that I have. Jerry Sampson, I hope I've answered your question. Hey, you say, I don't think Pastor Clego understands false fans. You don't question your fans. You do. You do. That saying is wrong. It is toast. I don't see him there next season. Come to think of it, if both teams switch places, Arsenal fans will do same. No, Arsenal fans will not do same. Arsenal fans will not do same. But let's say that ever happens, Arsenal fans will not do same. There are certain things that you don't do. You don't celebrate. You can say it off the game, like outside. But when your team concedes a goal, you should feel bad about it. Saying that Arsenal, no, I don't think that's good. I mean, we were rivaling Chelsea, we were rivaling Man United. Did you ever see us do that kind of thing? Because Spurs are not the only rivals that we have. Man United is rivaling Liverpool too. Have you seen Man United say, Arsenal come and beat us, so you win the title so that Liverpool doesn't win it, or City come and beat us? No, see, what is wrong is wrong. There's no right way of doing the wrong thing. If something is wrong, it is wrong. And that's the reason why Spurs are never going to be successful, because when you fill the air with that kind of mentality, that kind of smart club mindset, it is wrong. I don't expect them to beat City. Let's call it spade a spade. I don't expect them to beat City. I also don't expect them to cry or to be sad that they lose to City at home. But what I do not think is right is you concede a goal and you're celebrating. Come on. what are you in the stadium for? To celebrate your defeat? And that's not being fans now. Olayinka say, boss, I watched the Kevin Hart McTwain Award too. The Plastic Boys and his team are all doing well. Boss, indulge me. Who are your top 5 comedians or comedians you enjoy watching? It's gonna be hard to pick because for me, the epicenter of my whole life in terms of entertainment is comedy. And I've watched from Richard Pryor to Eddie Murphy, everybody who is Benny Mac, everybody, the ones that are very funny, the ones that are not so funny, the ones that, up to skip makers and the rest. I think that I live my life on comedy. Watch comedy sketches, watch comedy movies. Take for instance, one of my greatest all-time movie is My Cousin Vinny, because of Hajo Bessie and put up that movie, right? So if you ask me to pick my top 5, obviously number 1 up there would be Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor for the way he handled his comedy in the era where he was, where black men didn't have voices like they have now, didn't have platform, but he was able to do that and stand in a hall that is filled with white men and say the things that he said. The way he talks is the black Charlie Chaplin, right? And it's crazy how he does it. That's one. And I love Benny Mac. I love Benny for his style. I love his style. And it's crude, and it formed its own English. Kind of like when I look at Benny Mac and this guy that have the mustache, what's his name? Yeah, I'm almost Stevie Harvey. Yeah, when I look at those two people, one of the things that comes to my mind is these are illiterates. They speak English because it's a language, but these are illiterates who made it globally. This is my reason. They don't speak the English language very well. They form and fabricate their own, but they made a mark out of it. And they are the kind of people who give you this reason to say, education is great, is the key, but sometimes you can use a shovel or a hammer to break the door and move through. That's how it is for them. So I love Benny Mac too. In the modern age, in the age of branding, of comedy, of putting comedy, being commercialized and all that, Chris Rock. Number 3, Kevin Hart. Number 4, and it will shock you, but I love Bill Burr. Bill Burr for his rash, stupid but sensible comedy. I love Joker too. I love Don Chang. I love Tiffany Haddish. And I love all the comedians, because again. Bobby, for instance, in Nigeria, Bobby is my all-time, like my number 1 all-time. The most funniest comedian in Nigeria is not Bobby, is Gandoki. But Gandoki does not have the packaging. Gandoki is like Brimo. Brimo is one of the best musicians, but bad packaging. And, so it's not where Burna Boy is. I would rate Brimo's music ahead of musicmanship. I'll rate him ahead of Burna Boy. Now Burna Boy is great. He spits right. I don't think Davido is a good musician. I just think he's just one lucky chap. Give him credit for that. Whiskey there, but I'm just giving you examples. So, but comedy, when it comes to comedy, like kind of like comedy across the world is my go-to. The way books. I say to people that books saved me for crime. Comedy kept me going. Save me from depression. Was one of those things I love. Lexi Money says, great job, Brooke. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. What is your take with the current structure of Man U? Do you think any manager can succeed with the current structure? We've talked about structure. I think it's about time that coaches need to start taking responsibility. And in this season, it's not the structure. The structure is not the problem. I'm the first person who started talking about the structure. And I started talking about it from the days of Alex Ferguson, that the way this club is structured, it's going to be a danger. And that time, because they were winning, a lot of people say, oh, you're beefing, you're jealousy. They've seen it, but it's been 11 years. We cannot make excuse of structures anymore. Coaches need to come in and do their job. This season, on the individual merit of this season, Manchester United failure manager this season is 75% Eric Ten Hag. Nobody's going to convince me on anything. Yes, there is an injury problem, but I think that the man doesn't know. He doesn't have a hold on the team, like from the youth team up to the senior team. Doesn't know his players, who's going to play on match day. Doesn't know who to select, what tactics to use. You know, that as a Wenger team of where Manchester United let's come play. Instead of also knowing the opposition and then planning for the opposition, it doesn't do that. I think that that's a problem. Will they go forward and do well? I think Ineos is making too much noise. That's my own problem with them. They're making too much noise. The man likes, I mean, is the Donald Trump of Bernie Sanders of the UK. He likes to hear himself talk. Okay, he's not a media person. He likes to hear himself talk. Not a bad thing if you get a result, but I think that the way they're going about it might become a problem. I just hope that they get it all right. I gotta go now. My school is waiting for me. I also read Brimo's song, but no packaging. True. Yeah, my time is up. I need to go to school. My students are waiting for me. My wife is even reminding me already. Good one. Thank you very much, Mrs. Sidafi. Let's talk about all of this. Sure, tomorrow I will open it up for us to talk things outside of football, music, movie, comedy, all of these things, marriage, whatever questions you want to ask. Let's do that tomorrow. Thank you very much. And I'll give an additional 30 minutes to the show tomorrow. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful day. My name is Daphne Manchester. I'm going to love to come in the Element on the Sports. It's been fun on the show today. These days, I keep having fun every day. I don't know about what has changed, but something has changed about the show, whether it's Reginald, whether it's the way you guys put up your message in the comment section. But thank you very much for changing the show. The show is now enjoyable. It's now a beautiful show. And seems like I'm getting my speed back. I lost my speed before. It's like my speed is coming back. Thank you very much. You guys are the real MVP. God bless you and have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you for being always part of my community. Let's keep increasing it. Those who have not subscribed, please do it to subscribe. And if you know anybody who like this kind of thing that we do here, show them this channel and help them to tell them to subscribe. It's not, they don't have to pay. Some people ask me how much do I have to pay to subscribe. I'm wondering, like, it's free. All right. Bye. Have a wonderful day. But before I go, let me say this. If you're not the solution, please don't be the problem. And if you can't fix it, don't stand in the way of those that are fixing it. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye-bye.